How's it going, everybody? With turkey season right around the corner, I figured I would start to do some instructional videos, kind of go through each of the different calls that a turkey makes and ones that you'll typically hear in the woods in the spring. I figured we'd start the first one off with a yelp. So I've got the hot hen, which is just a 3-reed combo cut, same one we use on the website. I just got done making some calls, so I figured I'd try one out and make this video. So typically in the spring you hear yelping is probably the most common thing to hear, and there's most calls that most people can recognize, right? But there's a difference between having a clear front end on your yelp versus kind of just the back end rasp, which is what I think most guys hear, especially if you hunt public land. So what I think the most common sound people hear is just a raspy yelp. If you notice, there's no clear front end. Typically a wild hen she'll kind of start with a very clear note and then roll over into that rasp. The way that you make that is when you put the call in your mouth, the gray piece is going to go towards the top of your mouth, and you're just going to kind of hunt around with your tongue until you can find that clear first note. So you're not going to actually make the whole yelp right now, you're just going to make the first part, and that's just going to sound kind of like and all I'm doing is with very light pressure, just moving my tongue around the call until I find that clear spot. And it's not gonna be in the same spot for everybody. It's not gonna be the same pressure for everybody. But for me, it's typically on the right side of the call that lines up with the open part of the cut. From there, practice that a couple times, build the muscle memory up, make sure that you're able to get it in your mouth quickly, get that sound set up quickly and repeatably, and then you're going to drop into the second half of the yelp, which essentially is just as you're taking air from your diaphragm, moving it up over the call, you're just going to slowly drop your jaw. After you do that a couple times, you'll start to get the muscle memory built up, and then you can start putting strings together. Keep practicing it, do it over and over again, try different things. This is not the only way to make this sound, it's just the way that I typically know how to do it. Could be different for everybody, but keep practicing, keep going over it, and eventually it's going to be a very simple call. And the reason I like this way to yelp versus the traditional just raspy yelp is because 90% of the hunters can't make a clear front end on their yelp. The turkeys recognize it as being a realistic sound. So especially in high pressured areas like public lands and everything, if you can sound more realistic than another guy, chances are the turkey's gonna prefer your sound over someone else's. So best of luck out there. Hope to see you soon.